This can't go on, you know.
What?
You've got to face reality. You could be here in prison for a long time.
Don't you think I know that?
But you have to come to terms with it.
And how do you expect me to do that?
Look, I know it's not easy. But if you keep getting into trouble, you only make life more and more difficult for yourself.
Well, that's a great little speech, but I'm not the meek and mild type. Or didn't you realise that on the fire escape?
Sandy, it's mine.
Oh, come off it. What's so special about this old thing anyway? Of course, if you want to fight me for it, I'll be in that too. Now, who's first? Any takers? What the hell's the big deal anyway? It's only a bloody laundry press. Someone's got to do it.
Bea always works the press.
Well, she's not here, so I'm gonna do it.
Sandy, Doreen and I always work the press when Bea's not here.
So now the three of us can do it. Like Kate said.
So what the hell's the matter with you, girl? You've been here 5 minutes and you got the place all turned upside down. Now, you've been inside before. You know how the system works.
Yeah, I know how the system works. And who works the bloody laundry press isn't usually part of it. When it comes to the code, I stick by it. But don't expect me to put up with this kind of stupid kid stuff.
Well, I don't think Bea's going to call it kid stuff.
Oh, well. What have we here? The daily summit meeting. Get on with your work. Peterson, you ought to come with me. Mrs. Morris wants to see you. Bryant.
Well, I'm not putting up with it.
Oh, who cares? If she wants it, let her have it. It's not worth the hassle.
What the hell's the matter with you? We're always supposed to see that things run smoothly now that Bea's not here.
Look, the way Bea's been acting lately, she's not going to give you any thanks for it anyway.
Well, you can cop out if you like to, but I'm not going to. All right. Joke's over. Rack off.
Hey, come on, Judy. This isn't worth fighting over. Let's forget it. Shake on it?
Okay.
I'll play the game, but don't expect me to put up with this kind of stupid kid stuff. Now, do I get to work the press, or do you get your arm permanently pleated?
I haven't heard the last of this.
How's it going?
Oh, okay, now I'm getting the hang of it.
Yeah, it's pretty good, I think.
Yeah, a bit slow, yeah. I suppose it'll pick up when I get used to it. Listen, how long are they going to keep me on this?
Well, it's up to you. Depends what sort of a job you make of it.
Any chance of it becoming full-time?
Not sure, but would you want to? I mean, it might get a bit boring after a while.
Well, no more than the laundry. Look, I've been thinking. Maybe I could work on the braille machine part of the time and look after the library for the rest.
And what about the laundry? Who'd look after that?
Oh, they can sort that out amongst themselves. That's no great problem.
Look, I tell you what, Smith. I'll take a chance on you. How'd you like to work here on your own?
What, you mean unsupervised?
That's right. If you settle down, show that you can be trusted, we'll see about making you a full-time librarian.
Yeah.
Don't think we'll be needing you anymore if you tell Officer Powell you're released for other duties. Now, remember, Smith, it's up to you.
Yeah, fair enough. Thanks.
Hi, Bea. How's it going?
Okay. How's the sweatshop?
Yeah. Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. You know that new girl, Sandy Edwards? She's taken over the press.
So?
So, what are you going to do about it?
What do you mean, what am I going to do about it? I came down here looking for a bit of peace and quiet. What is wrong with you and the others? If you don't like it, do something about it, but don't keep running to me. Stand on your own 2 feet for a change.
Bea, you're the boss.
Am I?
Well, you always made us leave the decisions to you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jude. Look, I am just fed up with fighting everyone to try and stay on top. I guess it must be change of life or something.
Yeah, well, change is as good as a holiday, they say, you know.
I just thought I'd have a chat with you about my position here. Apart from being a parole officer, I'm a sort of unofficial social worker.
I see.
So if you come up against any problems that you feel you just can't handle, then I'm always available to help out if I can.
Thank you. Of course, it's all rather strange at the moment, but I expect it'll take a little time to settle in.
Yes, it will. Look, I don't wish to pry into your past, but there's something I feel I ought to explain. It could save you a lot of suffering.
What is it?
It's about your little boy. Have you mentioned it to the other women?
Only to my cellmate, Sandy Edwards. Why?
Well, I would be very careful about how the story gets out. You see, the women here have a very protective attitude towards children. And if someone finds out the fact that you kept going with this man after he threatened your little boy, then things could get very nasty for you.
But that's not how it happened at all.
Yes, I know. But believe me, it can happen. If someone gets a set against you, they could twist the facts around to suit their own ends. So please, keep a low profile until you see how the prison code works. Okay?
Yes, I will. Thank you for warning me.
Yes, well, I've got some other people to see. Be careful. And good luck.
Thank you.
Come on, Gorman. 24 hours are up. Come on, move it before I change my mind. You keep your nose clean from now on, you hear? Gorman, I'm speaking to you. You can be charged with dumb insolence as well, you know.
I want to go to the toilet.
What?
I want to go to the toilet.
May I go to the toilet, please, Mrs. Powell?
May I go to the toilet, please, Mrs. Powell?
That's better. Keep a civil tongue in your head. Clean yourself up while you're there, will you? You look like something the garbage man brought in.
Look, Mrs. Morris, thanks, but no thanks. Well, take a look at my record. I cut my teeth on institutions and places like this. I got my first conviction when I was 14, and since then I've notched up another 20 or so.
Well, perhaps if you'd been able to get some help earlier or been able to talk to somebody, you might not be able to make that boast.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm not crowing. I would have been bragging more if I hadn't got caught. In every one of those cases, I made my own decision. It was my choice. I got caught. Them's the breaks.
But what about your future? You're still only young. Is this the way you want to spend the rest of your life?
What future? I'm up for over 20 years. Look, Mrs. Morris, you seem to be a very nice lady, but all of you social welfare workers are the same. You come from the wrong side of the tracks. Oh, it's not your fault. Your hearts might be in the right place, but your minds just don't work the same way.
Well, actually, Sandy, I'd like to tell you that
Don't get me wrong. I know you help a lot of people. Oncers who aren't thinking straight and make a mistake. They can do with your help. But not people like me. I play the cards as they're dealt.
22 years sentence, eh? I think you've just run out of aces.
Yeah, well, maybe I'm just bluffing. Oh, God save me from social workers.
I quite liked her. At least she knows what she's talking about, having worked here as a prison officer.
She was a screw?
That's what I heard.
Well, what do you know?
It's good to know there's someone you can go to talk to if you need some help.
No way, Kate. In this place, the only help you can rely on is self-help.
That's all very well for you to say. You're used to places like this, but what about women like me? It's a totally different world. We need friends.
Friendships can fall apart pretty quickly in places like this. There's no one you can rely on.
What are you saying, Sandy? That I mustn't rely on you?
Yes. Oh, I'll play it as straight as I'm allowed, but I can't guarantee I'll always be what you want me to be. Hi. Looking for someone?
No. I'm sorry, I thought this was my room.
Oh, well, that's an easy mistake to make. They all look the same. Well, come on in and visit. You must be new around here, too.
Yes, I suppose I am.
Are you feeling all right?
This is Kate, and I'm Sandy, which is better than being dirty. Want a cup of coffee? What do we call you?
Linda. Linda Goldman.
Have you been here long, Linda?
No.
Just seems like forever, huh?
Yes.
Kate, what do you want?
Milk, no sugar.
Linda? What do you want?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I mean, there's no point, is there?
Mrs. Morris?
Yes, Kate, what's the problem?
Have you seen Linda Goldman?
Well, not lately. She's been in solitary.
Well, I think someone ought to see her, and soon. She's in a terrible state.
In what way?
In my opinion, I'd say she was on the verge of a breakdown.
Oh, come on, she's just been in solitary. Some women take it harder than others. She'll be all right in a little while.
I tell you, I've seen the symptoms before. She needs urgent medical help.
And I've seen the symptoms. And I tell you, you're overreacting.
If I had a patient on the outside in her condition, I'd make sure she received treatment.
But this isn't the outside, and she's not your patient. Now, I told you this morning things are different in here. A member of staff will make those decisions, not a prisoner.
You also said you were here to help. Maybe you were an officer here too long. Maybe you can't tell when help is really needed.
Hello, Linda. How are you? Linda?
Pardon?
I said, how are you? I just ran into Kate Peterson in the corridor. She's worried about you.
Kate Peterson?
She shares with Sandy Edwards?
Oh, yeah, I just had coffee with them a little while ago. They seem very nice.
So I think you'll find a lot of them are, if only you try and make friends with them. I do understand how difficult it is to cope the first few weeks you're here. But you've just got to try and forget the past and what it was like out there.
How can I forget the past? It was such a waste, such a stupid waste.
That's the very reason you should try to forget it. There's nothing you can do about it now.
Come in.
I'm sorry to bother you, Mr. Fletcher, but Peterson insists on seeing you. Now, I tried to put her off, but she's demanded her rights.
What's it all about, do you know?
Well, I tried to get her to tell me, but she wouldn't. She said she'd only speak to you.
All right, show her in then, will you?
Peterson?
Thank you for seeing me, Mr. Fletcher. I wouldn't have bothered you, but I do consider it to be serious.
Well, how can I help you?
Well, it concerns one of the other prisoners, Linda Goldman.
Well, what about her?
Apparently, she's just come out of solitary confinement.
Oh, that's correct.
Well, Mr. Fletcher, I don't know if you've seen her, but that girl needs help, and quickly. She's under severe mental strain, and if something isn't done soon, she could go over the edge.
I see. Well, I appreciate your concern, but, well, she has been in solitary confinement, and it does have a bad effect on people, but I'm sure you'll find it's only temporary.
I'm sorry, but I don't think you're right. I am a qualified doctor, and I've had the chance to study her at close range. She shows all the signs of severe melancholia, psychotic depression. She needs urgent psychiatric assessment.
I see. Well, thank you for bringing it to our attention. I'll certainly look into it.
Thank you. Believe me, I'm not overreacting, as Mrs. Morris said I was. I have seen all the symptoms before.
You've already spoken to Mrs. Morris?
Yes, for all the good it did.
I see. Well, as I said, I'll look into it.
Are you busy?
No, come in, Meg, please.
Is that about Linda Goldman?
Yes, it was. Take a seat. What's your opinion?
Well, she is showing signs of distress, but under the circumstances, I think it's only normal. She hasn't settled down yet.
I see. Well, do you think we could bring in Dr. Weissman?
No, not at the moment. I'd be more inclined to wait for a day or two and see how she is then.
Right. Well, I'll go along with you for the time being. We'll see her again in a day or two, and if there's no improvement, we'll certainly do something about it.
I'm sure she'll be all right. I'm not a doctor, but I do know prisoners.
Have a nice little chat with the governor, did you?
As a matter of fact, I did.
Really?
And what was that fascinating bit of information that you passed on that was only good for the governor's ears?
It was confidential.
Yeah, I bet it was. Do you know what we call passing information onto the screws? It's called lagging. And anyone doing it is liable to find themselves bashed in a quiet corner.
That's right. Now, either you're going to tell us what you said to the governor, or we're going to take it for granted that you lagged.
All right, girls, lay off.
Butt out of this, Sandy. She's a lagger.
I was not lagging, as you put it. I was just trying to help one of the women who's sick.
I bet you were. You were trying to get in good with the screws.
Don't do anything silly, Judy. Just take a friend and move along. No fuss, huh?
Thank you.
What were you talking to the governor about? Linda?
Yes.
Well, why didn't you tell them? You could have saved yourself a lot of trouble.
They didn't give me the chance. Anyway, it's none of their business.
Well, it looks like I'm going to have to teach you how to look after yourself, because I'm not going to be around all the time, you know.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to see my daughter, please.
And a name?
Goldman. Linda Goldman.
I see. Well, if you'd like to sign on in that book there, I'll get your daughter and I'll bring her to the interview room. Julie, would you get someone to bring Mr. Goldman to the interview room when he's finished signing, please?
You must be B. Smith. I'm Sandy Edwards.
Yeah, so I guessed that.
I hear the press is usually your job.
That's right. Any objections?
No, thanks. I've heard too much about you.
Well, you can always try if you're feeling lucky.
After what Mari Winter told me about you, I'd have to be a dill. She said you're the top dog. That's good enough for me.
Mari Winter, eh? How long are you in for?
22 years. Or so they say. But I'll be out long before that.
What a skate.
Oh, that's for mugs. I've got a much better way. And it's all legal. It's all in the way you handle the screws. You see, you come in here and make out you're a right troublemaker. Then over the next few years, you settle down. Play the game. Let them think they've rehabilitated you. Then they put you up for parole, and you show them you've seen the error of your ways. And they let you out. Then you're back on the outside and you pick up where you left off. Do you want your press back now?
No, thanks. You can have it for a while. I prefer it working up in the library. It's a lot more peaceful. And besides, I'm fed up with fighting other people's battles for them.
Goldman. Goldman, you've got a visitor. Your father. Well, I've taken him to the interview room. Now, come along.
No, I won't see him. Send him away.
Why? He seems a very nice man.
He is. He's the nicest man I've ever known.
Then see him. Now, don't hurt him anymore.
That's why I won't see him. I've already hurt him more than he deserves. He's got to forget about me.
Well, look, why don't you see him just this once and tell him yourself? I mean, he's come all this way.
No, I couldn't. Just wouldn't be fair on him. Can you just tell him I said goodbye?
You wouldn't believe me, I know, but she was such a good little girl. Well-mannered, honest, good to her mother and me. She cared so much about people. Or underprivileged people. That was the trouble. She cared too much.
Yes, well, it can happen.
And then she met that Andrea person, a great leader. She took our daughter away from us and ruined her.
Well, when you're young and sensitive, it's very easy to be led, I know. Right and wrong can become just so mixed up.
No, right and wrong aren't mixed up. It's people who are mixed up. Now she won't even let me see her.
Look, I'm sure she will if you'll just give her time. And when she does, I'll let you know and you can come and see her.
You think she'll let me?
I'm sure she will. Just give her time to work it out on her own.
I hope you're right. Your whole world revolves around them from the minute they're born. Then one day something like this happens and, well, there's nothing you can do.
Excuse me, Mr. Fletcher, you got a minute?
What happened to your nose, Burns?
Oh, I've got a cold.
What is it?
Well, I was wondering if I could move in with Judy Bryant.
Why?
Well, no special reason, just Jude and me are mates, and I thought it'd be a bit of a change.
I thought you and Smith were mates too.
Well, we were. I mean, we are. It's a bit different now with her working in the library and everything, so can I?
Well, Hennessey's sharing with Bryant. It's only a double.
Well, why don't you move Andrea in with B and then I could move in with Jude?
Look, Burns, this isn't a motel or a holiday island. I think we'll leave things the way they are. We can't go moving you around just because you want to.
Well, you didn't mind moving me around all over the place when I didn't want to change.
That's enough, Burns. Now get moving. You'll miss lunch.
Your father's gone. I said I'd let him know if you changed your mind.
Thank you. But I won't. I can't.
Well, maybe when things settle down, you'll feel differently.
Oh, how can I after what I've done to him? He loves me. And we're so close. How can I ever explain to him why it all happened when I don't even know myself? Why did I have to get sucked in by that stupid, shallow bitch?
Well, it's not all that difficult. Believe me, I know how you're feeling.
Oh, what's the matter with me? I was led along like some idiot. I almost killed people I didn't even know, let alone dislike. I was a mindless failure on the outside and a gutless failure as prisoner.
Now, stop it, Linda. That isn't going to improve things. Now, believe me, I've been through it too. Now, you listen to me. The same thing happened to me once. I let myself be led along by someone else, and I ended up in here too. Now, no one knows about this except for B. Smith, so I'm trusting you. The point is, I went through exactly what you're going through. It even got so bad that I seriously considered killing myself. But I got over it. And if you give it time, so will you. Now, what you've got to do is fight to survive. Start going to work. Now, keep yourself, your mind occupied all the time. And believe me, it gets easier. So why don't you give it a try, Go to work this afternoon. Make a start.
All right. But just not yet. Give me a chance to pull myself together. I don't want the other ladies seeing me like this.
Don't worry. You'll be all right.
Yeah. I'll be all right. I love you, Dad. I'm so sorry.
Mrs. Smith, my name is Kate Peterson. I'm one of the new girls.
I know. What can I do for you?
Well, nothing much, really. It's just that I've heard quite a lot about you, and I understand you're fairly powerful where the prisoners are concerned. Well, I wanted to tell you a few facts about my background. I've heard about the famous prison grapevine and how facts can become distorted, so I've decided to tell you the truth about my baby so I can scotch any rumours before they start.
And am I the first to get this information, or have you already given it to the governor?
That's what I mean, you see. Rumours, distorted facts.
Then why did you go to the governor?
I wasn't lagging. But apart from that, I can't tell you any more. I'm a doctor. I must hold on to my professional ethics.
Well, we have certain ethics in here, too. Now, I suggest if you want us to know the truth about you and your baby, you speak up so we can all hear it.
No, it's my own private business. I was only telling you...
Kate, come on, they can't hear you clearly. Now, speak up.
Oh, Mrs. Morris. Listen, is anything being done about Linda Goldman?
Oh, not you too, Bryant. What is this, some sort of conspiracy?
Conspiracy? I don't know what you're talking about. It's just that she's been acting very strangely lately. Makes all of us feel nervous having a loopy wandering about the place.
Now, for your information, she is not loopy. If you remember, you've had some very heavy moments here, and no one suggested you were going round the bend.
Well, all I know is that she's acting very much like Anne Griffin did before she was taken away, and she ended up in a padded cell.
Just give us some credit for knowing what we're doing, will you?
Quickly.
Everything's all right. It's all under control.
What do you mean under control? Linda's dead!
Oh. No, back to the wreckage.
Can I be of any help?
Get it moving.
Now, you'll all stay here until there's further notice, right?
Are they sure it was suicide? Maybe it was murder and they're just not letting on.
Oh, come off it. Of course it was suicide. She was hanging over Andrea's bed. She must have just stood on a chair and kicked it out from underneath her. Anyway, anyone with half a bloody brain could have seen that was on her mind the last few days.
Someone could have killed her and strung her up to make it look like suicide. It's not impossible. Is it, Andrea?
How the hell should I know?
Well, why would she hang herself over your bed? Why not her own? Maybe she was trying to tell us something. Murder or suicide, someone was responsible.
Look, just shut up and leave me alone.
Come on, Janet. Stop crying. Drink some of this. It's all over now.
Thank you. I keep thinking about that poor man.
What man?
Mr. Goldman, Linda's father. Came to see her today, but she made me send him away. She said she didn't want to see him anymore. Didn't want to hurt him. Well, I tried to get her to change her mind, but she wouldn't listen to me. Now, look, I am just not experienced enough to handle these situations. I should have referred it to you or Mrs. Morris.
Don't blame yourself. You did the best you could.
You can't make a prisoner see a visitor if they don't want to.
I feel so guilty. She told me how badly she was feeling. Now, of all people, I should have recognized the signs. I should have watched her more closely.
No, Janet. It wasn't your fault. Excuse me.
All I can tell you is that it seems to be suicide, and she's only been dead a short while.
Well, did she leave a note?
No, not that I could see.
Well, from what she told us this morning and the condition she was in, she didn't need to leave a note. Or maybe she did and somebody nicked it. You were in the dorm, weren't you, Andrea? You saw her hanging there.
I tried to warn them, but they wouldn't take any notice. Kept saying it was just a reaction from being in solitary confinement. I could see it was more than that. The woman was desperately ill. Why wouldn't they listen to me?
They're screws. They think all prisoners are subnormal.
Hey, what's this I hear about Linda?
Yeah, Bea, it's true.
Oh, God, poor kid. I wonder what finally pushed her over the edge.
The state she was in, it could have been anything. Just the wrong word at the wrong time would have been enough.
From what she told us this morning, I'd say it wasn't a case of what pushed her over the edge, but who.
Look, what would you know about it? You've only just arrived in this place.
She told Kate and me the whole story this morning.
Oh, I'll bet she did. Look, she was sick mental. She didn't know what she was doing. Did she tell you that she tried to kill me in the hospital?
Yes, and she told us why. Linda's friend was dead. She was going to be sent up for 20 years, and you had what? About another week to serve? You self-centered pig!
Oh, shut up and leave me alone!
I've had a gutful of your troublemaking. Let's go and see the governor. The rest of you, sit down and behave yourselves. Keep an eye on them till I get back. Come on, move along there.
Not bad. Where'd you learn to fight like that?
I had a boyfriend who was a boxer.
No, she can't see burns. She's on kitchen duty. And just a minute. Lizzie Birdsworth's in reception. Is there any reason why she can't see Smith? No, that'll be fine, Julie. Look, you fix it for me, will you? Thanks. Well, that should make Lizzie happy. What about you? How are you feeling now? Look, when I said before that you lacked experience, this is what I meant. She's dead. All this self-recrimination won't bring her back again. And we've still got a job to do. Mrs. Powell, in future, would you please mind waiting until someone asks you to come in?
Well, I'm sorry, but there's been more trouble.
What about?
A fight in the rec room. It would appear the other prisoners were beating up Hennessey.
What for, Hennessey?
Well, I don't know. They didn't have to have a reason. Look, I demand some protection. Now, they've been after me from the minute I got in here.
Well, I know damn well why they bash you up, and so do you. They hate you because of what you did to Linda. So does her father.
What are you talking about?
Mr. Goldman came to see Linda this afternoon before she died, but she refused to see him. It broke his heart. He said she was a perfectly normal, loving daughter until she met you. He said that you destroyed her for your own self-satisfaction.
I am sick to death with hearing about poor little Linda. Now, she knew what she was getting into, and she wanted to fight for the poor, suffering underdog. But the poor bloody little fool couldn't understand that they are only underdogs because they don't have the guts or the brains to get out from underneath.
Conway. I think you've said enough, Hennessey.
Look, I demand my rights. Now, I want to be moved to another prison. I'm not safe from the staff here.
I said that's enough. Now, you won't be transferred, but you will be moved to E Block for your own protection. Mrs. Powell, take her to a cell while she packs the things, then move her to E Block.
Oh, it'll be a pleasure. Come on.
I'm sorry I lost control then. I was taking out my guilt on her.
Look, that's all right. The best thing is just to forget all about it. Just try and keep yourself busy. Believe me, it works.
I'll try.
I thought you might have left.
Oh, well, I'm just about to, actually. Just about to head up for today. I haven't exactly shone in the Prisoners' Aid and Counselling Department, have I?
Oh, come on, Meg. Everyone makes mistakes.
Yes, but this one cost a woman her life. Won't forget that in a hurry.
Look, even if you had called in Dr. Weissman, there's no guarantee that he would have done any good. If she was so determined to kill herself, he mightn't have been able to stop her.
Yes, but we weren't to know that, were we?
I should have called him in after I'd seen that incident at the hospital. I should have noticed the signs.
For God's sake, between you and Janet, I'm just about fed up to the back teeth.
Jim, now...
Look, I can understand Janet's attitude to a certain degree. She's new to the game. But you've got no excuse. You know what these women are capable of, and you know that you can't afford to let yourself get emotionally involved. Damn it all, Meg, stop trying to be everybody's mum and come back to the job that you do best, and that's helping to run this prison.
To tell you the truth, I'm surprised that you went to visit at all. The place has been like a madhouse this afternoon.
Just like the old days, eh? What's been happening?
Andrea got bashed in the rec room. And Linda Goldman hanged herself in Judy's cell.
What?
Yeah. See what happens when you're not here to keep them in line?
Oh, Bea, that's dreadful.
Anyway, I don't want to talk about this dump. How's your house going?
Oh, it's lovely. It's beaut waking up in the morning to real sunshine and birds chirping.
Beats working in the laundry, eh?
Oh, you can say that again. But what about you? You working on that braille thing, Miss Ed?
Yeah, I'm slowly getting the hang of it. I'm only working on it 3 days a week at the moment, but I'm trying to talk Fletch into letting me work in the library full time.
You reckon he'll let you?
Oh, yeah, if I'm a good girl and behave myself and give him a body once in a while.
He wouldn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, well, I'd soon show him. Well, how's your garden going?
Oh, well, Bea, I don't know whether I'm going batty or whether somebody's pulling my leg.
How do you mean?
Mrs. Morris gave me a housewarming present, a beautiful azalea.
Oh, yeah, she told me about it.
Well, it keeps moving around.
What? Well, have you tried sticking it in the ground?
Of course I have. I planted it in one place. Next thing you know, it's moved somewhere else.
Oh, good. Well, man, you've got fairies at the bottom of your garden.
Oh, no, don't laugh. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Well, it could be following the sun around. You know, they say plants have a life of their own.
Be serious. I knew I shouldn't have told you.
Oh, come on, love. Look, you sure you haven't been hitting the grog since you've been out?
Of course not. I haven't had a drop, let alone get drunk. No. Well, I suppose you're right. Plants don't move around. I must have made a mistake and planted in the wrong place. There's so many shrubs in the garden, it's hard to keep track of them all.
Yeah, well, I think that's probably more like it.
Well, I better get moving and catch the butchers before they close. Oh, things are very expensive on the outside. It's much cheaper living in here.
Yeah, but a darn sight quieter out there, eh?
Yeah, it's not so much fun. I miss my old mates.
Yeah, well, look after yourself, Lizzie.
Give my love to Dora and Jude.
Yeah, will do.
Look after yourself. See you soon, eh?
Yep.
I'm ready.
Come in.
Can I see you for a minute, Mr. Fletcher?
Yes, of course. What's it about?
I think we should do something about moving Bryant out of that cell. Can't expect her to stay there after what happened this afternoon.
Yes, I think you're right. What do you suggest?
Well, while we're at it, there are a couple of other moves we should make. Edwards and Peterson.
What's wrong with leaving them where they are?
If we leave them together, I think they're going to cause trouble. There's signs of it already.
In what way?
Peterson hasn't been inside before. Now, she's an ex-doctor. She thinks she can carry on the same way as she did on the outside. She's going to have trouble buckling down to discipline.
No, I think she'll settle down all right. Just give her time.
I would rather see her put in with someone quieter. Edwards is a hard case. She knows the ropes too well.
I don't think she's any worse than a lot of other people we've got in here.
Oh, you haven't seen her at work. She's already taken over the press and the laundry. Now, she wouldn't have got that without a fight.
I don't think we'll have any trouble from Smith. She seems to be quite happy working full-time in the library.
Jim, you're missing the point. The press is a status symbol. Now, if anyone's going to take it over from Smith, it should be Bryant or Burns. No, that one's going to cause trouble.
No, I think you're overreacting a bit.
Okay, what about the fight with Hennessey? When I finally untangled the mob, there was Edwards right in the middle of it and doing most of the punching. If the truth's known, she probably started the whole thing. I would like to see them split up.
All right. Leave it with me, will you? I'll give it some thought and then I'll get back to you.
Fine.
Must be tired.
I still can't see why they couldn't just leave us where we were. I mean, it's so stupid. We're just getting ourselves settled and they decide to move us in here. Why?
Don't even bother trying to work it out. The screws love changing their minds. It gives them something to do. And they like keeping you feeling unsettled. That gives them a sense of power.
Well, Officer Powell didn't seem too happy about the move either. It must have come from Mr. Fletcher.
How can you tell if Powell was happy or not? I haven't seen a face change since we first came in here. I'd say that she was one of those screws who's always on the lookout for a quick promotion. They're the kind you got to watch.
How can you tell? She might just have been in a bad mood at the moment.
She'd be in a bad mood at any moment. I know her. I've seen her type before.
You must have gone through a lot to know as much about prison life as you do. Will you tell me about it one day?
Only think about what's happening today and how you can use it for the future. For instance, moving in here. That's not such a bad thing, you know.
How do you mean?
Well, just look who we're sharing with. The great B. Smith, top dog of Wentworth. That's pretty useful.
Glad you feel like that about it. To be honest, it scares the life out of me.
Why? Don't you see? The boss of the prison usually picks up a few extra perks along the way. She gets treated a whole lot better by the other prisoners. And if you're on her team, some of it rubs off on you.
I've met B. Smith. I didn't exactly get the idea she was too happy about getting me on her team.
Oh, stop worrying, will you?
What's going on in here? What the hell do you two think you're doing?
Hi, B. Haven't you heard? Surprise, surprise. The screws have moved us in here with you.
Like hell, where's Doreen?
They moved her in with Judy Bryant.
Well, I've had enough of this bloody interfering screws. I keep the women in line for them, and this is all the thanks I get.
B, maybe it won't be so bad. I mean, we're 3 fairly intelligent women. Give it a chance. It could just work out.
Oh, shut up.
Hello? 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 Is there anyone there?
Whose toothpaste is this?
Oh, it must be mine. Sorry.
Well, put it back where it belongs. Other people have to use the basin too, you know.
Okay, I said I was sorry.
And where are you taking those?
I was just going to put them away.
Well, they're mine. That's where they live, that's where they have always lived, and that is where they are going to stay. This has always been my room, and you two are the newcomers. You are going to have to fit in with me. Do you understand?
Yeah, sure, B. We understand.
Bloody interfering screws, always changing things around. Well, that's the way they want it. That's where they can damn well have it. They can run this place themselves. I've had it. Got the number one for a change.
Night, Kate.
Good night.
Night, B.
Yeah.
I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down, but the sun